Between the Celtics and the Clippers, one of the most fascinating basketball games of the entire season thus far went down last night in Boston, where at the end of the game, Kawhi went a little quiet, wasn't scoring, and the Celtics pulled away in double overtime. Jalen Rose, what did you think of this matchup between two of the top teams in the league?
Talent was so remarkable on the floor that I need shades, okay?
Those are not shades.
Transition lenses. Catch up. So, like, Paul George only played 15 minutes.
He had a little issue.
So he had an issue. So the Celtics ultimately did win in double overtime, and not to bury the lead, but I want to say this. This is some of the best collection of perimeter players in the game. And I've been saying that about the Celtics and the Clippers and the Rockets. When I look at those three squads, the collection of people that they have facing the basket are better than anybody in the league. Okay, they switch everything. Marcus Smart shooting 39% on the season.
Yeah,
Pop up and have 31 points. Jayson Tatum growing into his own, having 39 points. On the other side, Lou Will, of all the big names that's going to be at All-Star Weekend, go-to guy when you need him. Getting big buckets, 35 points. So, like, I appreciated a high-scoring, well-played regular season basketball game.
So I'm glad you brought up Jayson Tatum, because watching the game last night, it became clear to me that this is Jayson Tatum's basketball team. At the end of the game, in big possessions, they were deferring to Jayson Tatum. They're running plays, making sure that Jayson Tatum got the ball. Over the course of this year, you never really were sure who it was going to be. Was it going to be Kemba? Was it going to be Jaylen Brown? Was it going to be Jayson Tatum? Would Gordon Hayward have his second year back from that horrific injury and sort of emerge as the go-to player in the Celtics? And by now, it is absolutely, in my mind, 100% clear that this basketball team will go as far as Jayson Tatum takes it. Do you agree?
He's becoming their best player, but it's a collective effort. That's what makes a team really good if you don't have a superstar. That normally carries itself in the NBA. You look back at the history of the league, and anybody walking around with at least 2 or 3 rings, it's the same as in football. They'd be like, hey, how's Tom Brady doing? You know, how's Bill Russell? How's Shaquille O'Neal? How's Tim Duncan? How's LeBron James? These superstar players get you multiple rings. The Celtics don't have that just yet. So therefore, Tatum has emerged into their go-to guy, but you're still going to need Kemba with the joystick stop and go pulling up for people on 3. You're still going to need Hayward having his periods where he's scoring consecutive games of 20-plus points, and Jaylen Brown, who got a big-time contract this offseason. And so the collection is something that when you play against a team like the Bucks, it's going to be interesting to see if they can overcome a strength. And that's the Greek Freak size and dominance, because they have so many players that can make plays out on the floor.
On the other side of the ball with the Clippers, you know, you mentioned the superstars, and they have 2 in Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Paul George was out of the game, so I expected the ball to go to Kawhi Leonard at the end of the game. But again, he was Kawhi-it. And it was clear to me that Lou Will was who they looked for to get buckets down the stretch. They basically handed the game over to Lou Will, and he played great and delivered. But I don't know if Lou Will is going to drive your team on a championship run.
Lou Will going left is money all day. You got to force him to go right and finish actually at the hoop. If not, if you give him space, like you see that, where's he going? To the left, to the left, all day. That's his money. And so here's what the Clippers offense is going to have to figure out. Their best players need the ball consistently to create for themselves. In
outside of Montrezl,
Kawhi, Paul George, and Lou Will. There was a time, I think it was in the second quarter, where Kawhi was initiating the offense, and they did a down screen for Lou Will on the left side. And the play was just like so uncomfortable, it ended up the ball got stolen and Jayson Tatum going to the other end. Kawhi is evolving as a playmaker. He had his first triple-double this year. He's probably only had 10 assists in 2 or 3 games in his entire career. And Lou Will, the reason why you bring him off the bench is because you want him to be heat check at all times. And he and Montrezl Harrell have a great rapport with one another. The pick and roll, the pick and pop, the drop passes. And Harrell will finish that thing around the hoop, and he'll dunk it on your head. So now You got to change the dynamics of your offense, and if you're going to give it to Kawhi, that means Lou Williams spotting up in the corner. And that's why they have a great coaching staff with the Clippers. They'll figure it out. I love them adding Morris as well. They're a complete basketball team. But again, it was a great win by the Celtics on their home floor.
We're so glad you're watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, make sure you subscribe to ESPN+. We'll see you there.